Episode 29. We're back. 29, right?
Yes, yeah, 29.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are we doing today, Adam?
I can't complain. We took a week off. It was nice to, you know, breathe a little with all we got going on.
Yeah.
Um, had a fun episode last week or 2 weeks ago. A lot, excuse me, a lot's happened since we last talked. We got a bunch of trailers, got a bunch of announcements, bunch of just good movie news, and
And
a
we
bunch
had
of
two
Loki.
episodes of Loki.
Yeah, that we have. But before we get into any of that, Miguel, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah, man. What's up?
Before we get into any of the topics, what format do you watch movies in when you go to the movie theaters?
Huh.
What
Honestly,
are
I never
what's your
really
preference?
I like IMAX. I do like
Okay.
IMAX. However, I guess I never really thought about it in
Mhm.
terms of like my movie experience. I know that definitely started to be more popular once they started doing like revamping the theater experience.
Mhm.
But I like the Dolby Atmos because that was pretty cool to have like a surround, audio thing going on.
Yeah.
You hear like one explosion, but you can hear it like through your left ear. And like it's almost being like
The
wrapped in that.
moving sound.
Exactly, and that's
Yeah.
so cool. I think I remember when was it? I think when we went to go see Power Rangers, we went to a Dolby Atmos theater, and they were testing it out in the beginning, and it was like they do this little bloop thing where it's like audio all over, and it was so cool because we just looked at each other and we were like, "This is gonna be fun." Like we
Yeah.
had already seen Power Rangers, but we were seeing it again. Yeah, because total disclosure, guys. Adam and I are both Power Ranger nerds. We love that series. It was such a fun time growing up watching that show.
Don't even
I
get me
remember watching it
started on
on
it.
Saturday. I remember watching it on Saturday mornings. But yeah, what about you? I mean, I know you love your app. You love your Atmos and you love your IMAX. Um,
Yeah, definitely.
really like
Um,
to IMAX, right?
I will say I cannot do standard anymore unless I absolutely have to.
Mm-hmm.
So if a movie's offered in Dolby or IMAX,
Yeah.
I'll be seeing it in that. I won't be seeing. I cannot do standard. And again, unless if I very have to. I also hate 3D.
I I don't like 3D either, just because it gives me a headache. It gets
Same. So
It's very. I remember the first time I think I had a 3D experience, or the first recollection of a 3D experience, and this was back when like you would have to wear those
the
shades, like one
glasses.
was red and the other one was blue.
Oh,
It was
okay.
for Spy Kids 3D. I saw
Okay.
that in theaters with my dad, and I remember
Nice.
being like, "Oh my god, I can see it coming through the screen," and it really wasn't like the best. It was just the very bare minimum of like what 3D was going to become, and or at least like the first frontier. But what I am beginning to notice though is, even though the audio is getting better, the screen seems to improve.
Yeah.
Because I think I went to go see Cruella, and they had a good screen, but not all theaters have good screens. I guess it just depends on which movie theater you attend,
Yeah.
whether it's either Regal, whether it's AMC, whether it's Edwards. Uh, but I usually tend to have my best movie experiences at AMC. So
Yeah.
that's
Oh
that's
yeah. 100%. Um. So I don't remember one of my first encounters with 3D, but I remember my worst.
oh, what's that?
Believe it or not, it was Age of Ultron opening night when we saw it in 3D.
Oh
And I don't get me wrong, I still enjoyed the movie, love the movie, but the headache I had from the glasses the entire time was
yeah,
just I felt drained after because I was just like fighting. I was fighting through it, obviously the excitement of the what to watch the movie. But I remember we watched it in 3D. Yeah, at the time obviously I didn't care, but after I was just like, yeah, I do not think I'll ever see a movie in 3D ever again.
I now that you're like talking about it a little more, I'm picking up like the memory in my head, and I'm like, and I remember clearly seeing like when Quicksilver would pass and the lines would feel the 3D. But what I didn't like about that experience, we're kind of going like piggybacking on the worst, was that some things were 3D and others weren't.
Yeah, and it was
There
really
were
bad.
there were some scenes that really worked. For example, when it came to Wanda's powers,
Mm-hmm.
that was cool because you get to see most of like all the energy bursts and stuff like kind of traveling at you. But when
Yeah.
it came to like other scenes where one character felt popped out and then the other one felt like
Mm-hmm.
out the window.
Yeah. Yeah. And I wanted to bring that up because I remember it was like midway through the movie that when they're at Hawkeye's barn and Black Widow and Hulk are having that conversation wanting to be together.
Yeah,
And I remember just looking through the glass, like, well, obviously looking through, I remember taking the glasses off at that point and then watching it without it. I was like, can I do it without it? But obviously you need it. But I remember just like, I felt like Mark Ruffalo was like off the screen, not even in the movie, like he's in between that pocket of space from where you sit and where the screen is, and Black Widow's just there, like a part of the movie. And I was like, this looks so bad.
it really it builds on the contrast. And then also I another thing why I don't like 3D too is just because I wear glasses, guys, and it's so hard to have another shade like on top of the glasses. I know they made them bigger, but still it's so uncomfortable
Yeah.
depending on whether you have contact or not, which if you
I,
do, you're part of the lucky ones.
are movies offered still in 3D? Rarely, huh?
I think it's been a while. I mean, I don't know. COVID has taken so much already.
True.
I think
So
I haven't really had like I don't think they've been offering. Also, I think just because of glasses too, like some of them are recycled, or I don't know if they're just thrown away.
because there's not, at least at my local AMC, I don't think there's anything being shown
Mm.
in 3D, but that could also be due to COVID.
Yeah.
So that could be it. But get rid of it entirely, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it work. I mean, like I don't know if it's when they did it for Avatar, didn't they? Like they did like the IMAX 3D experience, and I think the whole movie was actually like felt 3D, not
Yeah.
just parts. So I remember people saying that the 3D for that was good, but I don't know. Like, and I never went to go see it. I just remember seeing it on my
Yeah,
TV.
I haven't seen Avatar either. But I've been to I've been to Disney World, and it's funny. I don't know why I was thinking of this at the show, but I remember when we were recording the episode when I got back from Disney World, and
Uh,
I was just like, oh, I'm not gonna mention that I went to Disney World, but now it's just like because I went obviously in the pandemic, which was honestly one of the smartest ideas I ever did because of how cheap it was, and it was
what,
it was pretty damn safe. It was pretty
did you
damn safe.
compare prices now to what?
Oh yeah, when I was looking to it before the pandemic, it was like at what I was doing because I stayed there 10 days and it would have been like 2,500 and my entire trip came out to like 1,100. That's not spending money, but you
But
know,
but just like
yeah.
that's a good gap. That's a good
Yeah.
chunk of your money that you're saving up in your pocket. So hell yeah, man.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It was just
I am a liar though, guys, because I said I haven't been to Disney World and I remember saying that on an episode, but
yeah.
I
Dun,
have.
dun, dun, no big deal. I knew something you did it,
The
guys.
truth comes out. But yeah, no, what was the point in me saying that? Oh, I've been to
Avatar World. That
yeah, the Avatar World. Pandora. There you
Pandora.
go. And let me just tell you, the rides there are absolutely badass. Like they
I
are
remember
so damn cool.
I remember telling you I was like, if you're gonna go to Disney World, just like please visit that place. Like please
Yeah.
visit that location for me because I remember seeing it when it was in production. They were talking about a Pandora World, and then when it finally came out, and then I completely forgot. Like it just went off the radar. Like not a lot of people were talking about it,
Mhm.
but when it did open, it got a lot of buzz, and then it went radio silent. So I'm not entirely. So I was happy that you went and you got to experience that. However, you need to watch that movie because it
No,
is
yeah, I
good,
do.
and it's like think I don't know why I just thought of the Matrix, but they have like a similar feature in terms of like becoming a different person or like
Yeah.
a new world, and it also plays on like colonization, but not to get
Yeah, yeah.
political, but at the
Yeah,
same
I get
time,
what you
just
mean.
get what's it called? Just really watch it because it's a fun movie,
Yeah,
and
no, I definitely
sequels are
definitely
coming out, so
So yeah, yeah, the second one is coming out like next year, huh?
Is it? Is it?
I think so, or in
I'm
2023.
excited for that because they're like supposed to visit. It's supposed to take place underwater or something like that, or like
That's
explore.
cool.
So that's fun. I mean,
That's really
yeah,
cool.
I'm excited for visuals.
The only thing I didn't was a little disappointed I didn't get to see. So they were the for those of you who don't know, there's four parks at Disney World, and there's Pandora is in Animal Kingdom, which is typically the earliest park to close. So when I went, Animal Kingdom was closing at 6 p.m. and the sun was still up. So I don't know if you ever seen the Imagineering story on Disney Plus.
Uh, yeah, I started like it's a series, right? Like so, it's a
Yeah, yeah.
I started the
So
first one.
they go through the creation of Pandora and all that at Disney World, and you see it lit up at night, and it looks amazing. And I'm disappointed I didn't get to see it at night because,
Oh, they
like,
close because it early.
yeah, yeah, they would the park would close like super like six, I think it was 6 p.m. like 5 or 6 to where like I still had like time to do stuff, activities. But um yeah, so we kind of got sidetracked on the question on favorite format when you go to the theater. So what would you say it is?
Uh, no, I think I answered saying IMAX or just Dolby Atmos. I'd
Yeah,
say
it's
or
tough
a mix
to
of both. It's a mix
yeah.
of both because I want to have a good screen. I don't like going to the. That's also on me though. I if I choose to go to a movie theater because like of cheap tickets, and then I see the reason why through the screen, I'm like, okay, this is the reason why this movie was like $5 because
Yeah.
like the screen isn't like updated, and then we're
Yeah.
seeing we're not really seeing bright colors. We're seeing kind of like a tint to it, and then
Yeah.
that kind of disappoints me because it's like this movie could have looked better. Um,
True. But that could also be on the theater
yeah,
that you're in,
yeah, exactly.
because prior to the pandemic, AMC had spent our right before the pandemic hit, AMC spent so much money on the recliners, new projectors, new screens, a bunch of uh a bunch of stuff to make the movie experience at their theaters a lot better. They ended up taking a complete loss. Well, not a complete loss because during the pandemic they took a loss, but then when the people on Reddit bumped up the stock prices on AMC, they made it all back. So the point is they put so much money into their theaters to make the experiences better. And I don't know if you heard, they acquired new movies to or movie theaters too,
They
like
did.
independent chains.
Oh wow, really?
I think they bought ArcLight.
Oh
They bought
snap!
ArcLight, and then they bought another like independent film like theater, like one of those trendy ones in LA that still have the older feel to the movie theater. Like they
Yeah,
go and they put the actual letters up, like on the not the glass, but that light up box, you know. Um, but yeah, but in terms of format, I again sidetracked it. But I
what
guess
was
for
your
me, uh I mean, it's tough because I love IMAX, but Dolby sound wise is just great. And then I love when you walk into the Dolby theater and it's like there's just red lighting everywhere. So like and everything's like black. Like you can't see the floor unless it's lit up, and then you just have those red lights kind of just dim red lights just playing, and then the overall experience you get prior to the film you know with with trailers and then the promotion of Dolby, it's really cool.
it is? You know, I was actually gonna ask you, did you end up seeing Fast Nine?
No, I'll be seeing that tonight.
Oh, you'll be seeing it tonight. Okay.
Yes,
We'll talk
which
about it later. We'll talk about it later then.
yeah, well, maybe we should do it for the YouTube channel,
Yeah, that would be cool.
and we can have an
We
open
can,
discussion
we
on there.
can break it down, honestly.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it
Um,
tonight. I'm a little late.
yeah, yeah. What? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll be seeing it later tonight around like 7 p.m. Um, with my buddies.
The
Yeah,
reason
it's because I'm the only one who couldn't go opening night, and I told them like, "Hey, go to opening night," but they insisted on waiting for me, and this was the next day that we could all do. Was a week later, so it's fine because obviously I'm still gonna see it.
right?
But
The
You
reason why
know,
I bring it up is because like prior to I always love getting to the movies early,
mhm.
but like seeing the previews, and I love seeing what's her name? I was just that's the reason why I brought her up. Maria Menounos.
Oh yeah,
Every
yeah,
time, every shout out to her because she always makes my theater experience great.
yeah.
I
She's
love the
great.
fact that she's always stuck around, and I
Yep.
think she's only at AMC. I
That
don't think
might be.
I think
She's
she's
in the early because I usually show up during the
yeah.
trailers.
I like to show up early. I don't like
Yeah, so do I. I hate being late.
right yeah, and then because also like seeing the previews. That's like a very
Yeah.
yeah. But
Especially they have the Jurassic World trailer attached to it, like that 5 minute clip, huh?
yes,
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. I saw a little bit of it, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna wait. I want to see it in the theater.
it's
You
better.
know, yeah, I bet. But I've seen all the memes for Fast and Furious. Then have you seen the one? Okay, because obviously we saw the that in the trailer for Fast Nine, that big jet engine attached to I think it's Tyrese's
It's
car.
literally a car. I think it's like a Pontiac. I forget the model. I think it's a Pontiac something
Hmm.
attached to a rocket.
Yeah, like that. Honestly, like how much is too much? But you know what?
Um,
It's crazy. You know, I
and
mean, they said they teased going to space. You know, and I saw the star. You see the Star Wars meme?
I would. Yes, I have, and I will not confirm nor deny it until you go see it. Until everyone else goes sees it.
They go to space. The guys, they go to space. This is the first and only spoiler you're gonna hear for Fast and Furious 9 right here on this episode of the podcast. But to move on,
What are
there's
we
been a
talking
lot.
about today?
We have a few little topics. We got a couple trailer. Well, we got one trailer to talk about, but there has been trailers coming out.
Yes.
Um, but there's also a lot of movies filming right now. Like within like the last week, we've had three big titles say that hey, we're in production.
Yeah. Really big anticipating titles. Titles.
One of them being, well, three of them being Knives Out 2, John Wick 4, and Aquaman 2 have all confirmed that they are filming right now. Within the last week, they've confirmed filming, which
Literally.
is awesome.
And they all kind of started like back to back because I remember seeing like John Wick like June 27th, and then
Yeah.
Knives Out 2 was like the 28th. Aquaman was like the 25th.
Yeah. Like they all announced it
They
like
all
within the last week of just like within the last 7 days, they've all just announced filming. Obviously, we're gonna see this a lot more. Like just hey, this is in production. This is in production. This is finished wrap. This is launching next week. This is coming out next month. Like we're just gonna see a whole bunch of that more because obviously the world is opening up.
there's actually already set pictures of Knives Out 2. There's already a set
I
picture,
saw that. Yeah, well, that's usually how they let you know they're filming.
which is so cool because
Yeah.
I'm ready for this. Like the fact
Yeah.
that they already casted everybody, the ensemble looks amazing.
Hmm.
And I'm such a fan. I have the movie on Blu-ray. I,
Knives Out.
yeah, I'm excited.
Do you have the steel book?
No, I needed to get
Oh.
that one. I ended up just picking it up at Target because it was
Mhm.
like $5 too.
I thought you had the Best
Here.
Buy steel book.
Oh no, I
Yeah,
would.
no. You what's crazy though is if you don't buy those, they get super expensive on the aftermarket.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I've been trying to get a Doctor Strange one, and the thing is still like $100.
Oh no, that's not
Yeah,
worth.
I'm not willing. I don't want to pay that for a film because I already have Doctor Strange, but all of my Marvel like films are in exclusive in some way or another. So
Mhm.
like the Infinity War and Endgame like exclusives, I have those as Target because those are my particularly favorite ones of the exclusives that came out. But yeah, just not to go deep into that, but yeah, bunch of
Oh,
movies
but
filming.
it's a whole different world. Like let's briefly talk about it. Cause I remember you and I would always kind of we would like you would go on the Best Buy website and then I would go on the Target website and then compare which steelbook or exclusive release would be
Yep.
better and then consider which one to get. Because we would go on missions sometimes to go to Best Buy. And then I remember I think we went to one Best Buy kind of like by the 10 freeway. I forget that area what it's called, but it's like
The
passing the
one in
city.
City of Industry, right?
So yeah, to get
Yeah.
the movie or game, I believe, but it was because they only had it there, and like
Yeah,
Best
probably.
Buy to run out, and I was like, dang. But
Yeah,
we
we're
ended up getting Krispy Kreme, I think.
did we?
I think so. I think
Probably.
memory's right. Sometimes it blurs. But
Yeah, we've done
it
the
was really
all
fun
the stuff we've done.
to find out from our listeners what they like from the movie experiences, and if they
Oh
also
yeah.
do. And again, they can reach us out at Our Real Addiction on the Instagram, on the Facebook. Just kind of be like, hey, we also do, or hey, we have things in common, or hey, I don't spend my money like that. Why are you guys crazy? Like anything like that. So
Yeah.
that would be fun.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. Um I'll have another I already have a question to open up next week's episode. I'll talk to you after so that you can think of a story because it's a story version of a question of
Awesome,
a movie experience. So we'll talk about it after because I just thought of it right now.
awesome.
But other than that, other than movies, that are filming, other than those three big, I mean, I know like smaller projects have kind of really filmed. I don't know what exactly what, but I feel like we're getting an announcement every day that something is in production. This person has been casted in the film. We're doing this, that, movie studios are just starting to obviously pick up steam, which is very, very nice.
Yeah,
Um, but to move on, we had okay, I'm gonna be honest, I had no idea this film was coming out until I saw the trailer. I think it dropped yesterday or a couple of days ago for Don't Breathe 2.
yes.
I had no idea.
Let's talk about that because I got a YouTube notification and I was like, "Don't breathe too." Didn't even know either that it was in production. Didn't even understand. I thought
Mhm.
it was just gonna be one film, and then it
Yeah.
took a while to be like, "Wait, but who's it gonna follow?" And then until I clicked on the trailer, and then you want to take it from there. That was
Yeah. So, I mean, for those of you who have seen Don't Breathe, you guys would know obviously how it ends. If not, some dude, he's blind. I don't remember why he's blind, or I don't know if they explain it. But point is, his wife and daughter were killed in a car accident. I think the wife was pregnant. I've only seen it a couple times when I first bought the movie. But point is, they know these three punk hooligans, teenagers break into this old blind man's house, and they attempt to rob him. It goes miserably wrong, and then it turns out he has a girl hidden in the basement, right? Or
yeah. It turns out this guy's actually like a piece of shit because I mean they give him a side of human like I said like he's mourning, but
yeah,
the way he mourns is not the correct
isn't
way.
yeah.
Yeah, he actually like kidnaps the woman responsible for the car accident and is
Mhm.
trying to impregnate her so that way he can still have his kid.
Yeah,
But this girl is literally like underground, uh, in the basement of his house that he fortified to look like terrible. And
yeah.
it's
It's
like there was a really good like um what is it like development of how it like they use silence as
yeah,
horror
yeah.
and and
That's why it's called Don't Breathe.
yeah, and just it's such a like a really cool way, and also just because, and they also use like visual, like they made most of the movie like really dark,
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to incorporate the feel of how someone.
Because there's some scenes that are shot in what is it called? Night vision,
Yes,
which gives the effect a lot scarier. Because I mean, like if you think of like movies that have been in night vision, I think some of the Blair Witches in night vision. There's scenes in Cloverfield that are in night vision, and when something's shot in night vision, that typically doesn't go well for the main characters.
and
You know,
the audience,
but
'cause
yeah, oh yeah, 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 right,
ready
the
for the
audience too.
scare. It's gonna be like, oh, suddenly this thing pops up. But that was basically to cover up. Sorry to go on a tangent there, but that sums up the first one, and then it ends quickly with him actually still being alive, and then the girl Jane Levi, who's the main character there, um, surviving and leaving. And then after that, we thought it was over, but I guess with this release of this trailer, it picks up with this little girl running through the woods, and a Rottweiler is right after her, and it's
Yeah,
kind of interesting because you think like, oh my god, no way, he's actually like targeting
Yeah, gonna kill this girl,
the
you
girl,
know?
but he's actually prepping her. Like
Yeah.
he's it turns out this guy turned his life around and is now a father, and he's trying to just prepare her for the world when the reality is that he's hiding his past. And I'm like,
Yeah,
whoa,
it's
whoa, whoa.
insane. Yeah.
And now it's a similar situation again from the first one where these guys break in, but these guys break in with a purpose.
Yeah, they know his backstory, they know his past. So again, they're going around. It looks like they gave us the entire movie in
I
the
think they did,
trailer.
and that's what I hate.
Yeah,
I wonder what's the decision when it comes to trailer making. Like, okay, how much of a story can I tease, and is there much enough of a story to tease, or should I just give out plot?
unless they have a big reveal at the end and they're keeping some, which I wouldn't put it past the director because he's already done it before. Because it's
Yes,
the same director from the first one.
which is great. Yeah,
Yeah, because obviously if he's
creative.
writing the first one, he knows where he wants to go. But yeah, it seems like I said, it seems like they gave us the whole movie in the trailer again. That's all our speculation, you know. It's like I feel like when you give the entire story in a movie trailer, it's like a compilation, like a montage almost, because you're going through a bunch of stuff and you kind of put it two and two together. But I'm
Yeah,
sure the movie will still be good. But maybe like a movie like this needs to give away majority of its story to get people into the theaters because it's been like 8 years
it has, hasn't
since
it?
they've done since the first one. Um, so I think a film like this might benefit from
Speak
giving away.
absolutely. But are you gonna see it?
Oh yeah, 100%. I've seen the first one. Don't get me wrong. This movie is by no means right in any way. Like this movie's sadistic. The first one's sadistic. I'm sure this one will be sadistic as well.
Yeah,
Um,
and it had us really rooting for characters that were kind of like we didn't get to know much, but then
yeah,
we did throughout the events, and we're like, oh wow, we really want these people to live.
yeah.
Um, so I'm excited to do. I'm excited to see if we're gonna be excited. I'm excited to see the dynamic this time. If we're gonna care for the blind guy, knowing his
Yeah.
past. So I'm excited. It's a nice reverse. It's kind of like a Uno reverse where it's
He's
like
no
here
longer the hunter.
exactly.
You know.
Um, but I would see it too. I think I will see it. I want to see it in theaters because I remember seeing Don't Breathe in theaters, and that was a lot of fun.
Okay.
Because I do love getting scared. I love getting scared not by jump loud, like pop up in your face things, by like actual skill and technique and kind of creeping up on you and unexpectedly getting scared. So that's always fun.
It doesn't take much to do a jump scare,
It
but
doesn't. You
if you
just gotta
can
know how to
build
scare
off the
your
elements, around
audience.
you to create a good film. Well, at least for the average person, me, I react to all scary movies. So
Yeah.
I get scared easily. I don't say I get scared easily, but I react to the films very, very easily, you know.
Speaking of kind of piggybacking off scary movies and also trailer reveals, because we forgot to kind of mention this one, and it just released to Halloween Kills.
Oh my gosh, because like that same day we got Shang-Chi.
Yes, and we got
Dude,
that too. Yeah, we got a couple trailers. But Halloween Kills, kind of just piggybacking off, Don't Breathe too. I saw it, and I hope everyone else saw it. It kind of gave us the whole movie too.
did it?
I that's what I'm saying,
Did
kind of,
it?
because
I don't know.
I sent it to you immediately, and I was like, don't know, I don't understand. Like honestly, I was impressed,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I was like, why are we getting everyone that he's murdering? Mike, like, why are we getting all the shots in the trailer? Like, why are we like we got? If I did a countdown, I think we got like 6 to 7 people, or maybe more.
The title in itself has kills on it.
Yeah,
So
but
I think there's
could
gonna
have
be a lot
teased
more.
this. They would have been fun. I know that I know it's Halloween Kills and then Halloween Ends.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. They're shooting
but
they're coming out back to back years.
fine.
Obviously everybody, well, for those of you who saw the trailer, you'd know that, they're the town is um coming together. They want to put an end to Michael Myers. Laurie Strode has kind of inspired everybody to put an end to Michael,
Okay,
and he's going around killing people, which you suspect Michael Myers to do. You expect him to do that. Um, Again, I think he's gonna probably have like close to probably 100 kills in this film. If they're teasing a 6 in the trailer, he's got to have close to about 100 kills
bro,
confirmed.
yeah, you're right, and like that's just something to talk about because I'm like,
Yeah,
I was like, damn, man, like I really don't want them to do this that way. I don't know. I guess it's just a stiffer because at the end of the day, I'm gonna end up watching it, and I'll probably just forget by the time I watch it because it'll be so incorporated in the story. But it
yeah,
really
I think so
does
too.
pick up right after. If you actually, but I'm excited for that, and I just wanted to throw that in there. But now that you mentioned the Shang-Chi trailer, do you want to briefly cover that one? Because don't remember seeing it.
Okay. All I remember is the big things like the 10 rings. They're new. They have a different interpretation on them. They're going to wear them on their arms instead of their fingers. They're a lot bigger and they send out like these like power blasts, if I remember correctly. But the bombshell, or I should say the money shot of the trailer, was Abomination versus Wong in some big old like tournament some style that Shang-Chi has to participate in. And Abomination had his gills. So that's awesome because that's comic accurate for those of you who know what Abomination looks like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he actually has gills. Or I think yeah, I think they're gills. So that's nice. I think with Abomination being back, I think it also confirms the Thunderbolts.
Can you explain that a little more?
Because they had Zemo, you had Ross come back, you got Abomination back.
Oh,
Who else is? I always forget who's in Thunderbolts, but I'm gonna look it up really, really quick. But I know it's Ross, Zemo, um and Abomination. But also I know oh yeah, Doom's in there. Um, so Taskmaster, yeah, that's right. Taskmaster, we're seeing him show up in Black Widow. We know Ross is in that film as well. So it's like I think they're bringing together the Thunderbolts, which would be absolutely badass. We can see an Avengers versus Thunderbolts film or something, or
ooh, okay.
like us,
Ross got mad at these adventures.
yeah, yeah,
So very
yeah.
cool.
But that other than that, I'd have to rewatch the trailer. I just remember the big like money shot and the what the rings look like.
Nice. Yeah.
But let's talk about some Loki.
Let's get into some Loki, man. That
We've had
was
3 episodes. We don't have to go detailing into it. Well,
no,
not detailing, but we don't have to go like episode like every single second of the episode. But what's been going on?
bonkers.
Yeah.
Last episode threw everything that we thought we knew under the table, and now we are just kind of bamboozled. Honestly, I'm bamboozled. But like you said, 3 or 2, because I think we did talk about 2. Did we
We
not?
talked about 2. So we haven't talked about 3 and 4.
Okay.
Before we get into everything, I just want to say justice for my boy Mobius. He was done absolutely dirty by Loki and then by the TVA in
Uh,
episode
or
episode 4.
I justice for Mobius. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because man, Owen Wilson really knows how to just bring
Wow.
personality to a character and
Wow.
make us care for him. But
Yeah.
I want to just I brought this to you when I first saw it
Hmm.
last week. I brought it to your attention, but to cover like episode 3, it's called Lamentus, which
Hmm.
was written. It was written by. Give me one second. It was written by Alyssa Karasik and Michael Waldron. And it was directed by Kate Herron, which I'm beginning to love her so much. I
Hmm.
think her sense and her style direction, I'm praising her just because that episode, to briefly touch it, we discover a couple of things. We discover that everyone at the TVA are variants.
Yeah.
Discover that Loki is canonly bisexual. and we also discover um we also discovered that Loki is falling for a version of himself. Uh,
Made so much sense though.
yeah, and episode 4 kind of briefly touches on it. But what I want to praise, and I remember telling you, because after every time I finish something, I'm just always like, I go to you. Um, the last 15 minutes of that episode blew my mind. Just
Which one?
of episode 3 of Lamentus.
Okay, okay,
It was called Lamentus 1, I think, or Lamentus. And
yeah.
it was just amazing to see how one single shot was and it blows my mind because obviously it had to be choreographed,
Yeah.
stunt work in it, the action pieces, like that, like literally the whole thing. Seeing Loki like with just his stance, just reverse a building back
I
into.
don't know if you brought it up to me. You might have, but the first thing I immediately thought of was the Battle of Hogwarts.
That's you did. I didn't bring that up, but that's so funny that you say that. It's funny. That's so cool. Yeah.
Because it reminds me of the Battle of Hogwarts in the Deathly Hollows Part Two, where they're running through the courtyard, and I think that's single shot as well.
Yeah, that is awesome,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
impressive.
It like cuts at the end, but at that point the story's already progressed past that of the battle hog. Yeah, it's like a montage. It's like perfectly like we say single shots because like single shots tend to be like this little montage kind of scene of
And they tend to be really difficult to film because
yeah,
like they're tricky, and
yep.
you have that skill. I remember telling you that it reminded me. It felt influenced by Uncharted, the video game series,
You're right. That's what you had said. I know you compared it to something.
and Daredevil, because Daredevil has had single shots too. And I remember season 2, episode 1, or season 2, episode 2, where the staircase fight, where it's literally just one shot too,
Yeah,
and he's just following Daredevil down that staircase, and it's
yeah,
killer. It's just so impressive, and it's so hard to do. And I praise Kate Herron for that directional choice, and
yeah.
that episode elevated the love for me, but for the show. But I think you should take the lead for episode 4, man, because that
Episode 4 was absolutely insane.
yes.
Um, I'm gonna just kind of go the first thing off the top of my head. I think it was obvious that the timekeepers weren't at the TVA. Um, I feel like it's in my opinion it's a little missed like a little continuity error because I feel like Loki and Sylvie would be a lot smarter to know that the TVA are sorry the timekeepers are at the TVA. You know,
Uh-huh.
um, more of them are becoming more woke about being variants, which is crazy. I mean, the fact that it starts off with them like being imprisoned, and I saw this meme of it was Mobius when he gets Loki back to the TVA, and it's you ever seen that house where it says "Welcome home, cheater."
Oh my god.
Have you
Yeah.
seen it or no?
Yeah.
If not, I'll look for it and send it to you for sure. But yeah. So that was a meme, and I thought that I saw after finished watching the episode, which I thought was funny because that's how it kind of is. Like Mobius is very hurt. He's very like how could you do this to me style. Like what does she have? Basically, and then he calls
Hilarious.
him out. Yeah, he calls him out like, oh, you like her, you want her, and all that, and then
But he's a little jealous.
yeah, yeah, he does seem a little jealous, a little jealous of that. Um, but fantastic episode. I remember Sylvie and the other, the big buff lady who loses her
Hunter
friend.
B. Oh,
I forget her name.
the who's a TVA cop?
Yeah, she's the TVA cop. She's the badass one that kicks everybody's ass.
The
I
Hunter
don't
B.
remember her names. I don't
Hunter.
remember her name. But point is, she goes in to act like she's gonna interrogate Sylvie, only to like ask her like, "Hey, like, are we really time variants? What happened to my friend? What's going on?" Pretty much, and then Sylvie shows her everything, and this time variant cop ends up, realizing she has a life. So she's fighting with like the Lokis. It's really sick, which is cool because then Mobius is on board with fighting the
Yeah.
Lokis, is with fighting with the Lokis, and the TVA is like, while they're authority, not so much like the timekeepers.
We also like,
They're in,
yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, you were
No,
saying.
no, no, you're good. I was kind of stumbling at the end, but there are a lot of these, a lot of these, time variant, like the authorities are they're questioning loyalties right now because they, some of them are
Oh
waking
yeah.
up. Um, we find out they end up killing the one that was perfectly fine, or Mobius like called it. She's like, no, she was fine, and I forget the other lady that Mobius likes. I forget her name. She's like, oh no, she was going crazy, and we had to. She ended up dying, and then even Mobius called it
Yeah,
out.
I have the cast list real quick. Hang on.
Oh, okay,
So it's Rabona, who's
yeah,
the one that's like everything's fine. Hunter C.
yeah,
Sasha Lane, the one that gets basically neutralized because she's been compromised. Hunter B15 is the one who's working for, who's gonna now working for or is alliance with the Lokis.
hmm,
And honestly, like the beginning of that episode, we begin to understand Sylvie, and I kind of want to briefly touch on one scene that I hope they cover because the episode was called the Nexus event,
yeah.
and
This one, yeah,
like it starts off with Loki and Sylvie on Lamentus just kind of expecting to die, but
yeah,
like beginning romance causes like a branch on the original
yeah, like a
timeline.
straight branch.
Straight up, man.
Yeah,
And it's just because it's like I guess their love, and even Mobius was like, "You're such a narcissist for that. Like you're literally falling in love with yourself. Like that's crazy." But in the beginning of the episode, we see Sylvie as a youngin and
yeah,
in Asgard, and then Ravonna comes in as a TVA cop and takes her away. And she goes through the whole process. We go through a quick montage of her going through the whole process of um, her getting, like signing everything she's ever said, going through the if you're an android, an AI type of like processing thing, and then the court hearing. And luckily, she escapes. And ever since then, she's been on the run. So we get her origin on how things were. But it isn't until she's captured with Loki in the room and it's Rabona and they're about to go see the timekeepers. And she says, what was my Nexus event? Like, what was I doing? And then Ravona's just like, I don't remember. And she's like, bitch, if if you don't remember, then it wasn't important. And that makes me wonder whether she just did it to do it and whether the TVA were just picking up people and create,
man.
like they're saying like, oh, you're branching off, but the reality is that maybe they're not branching off, maybe like they're in a good, my theory is that they're actually in a good path, but they're just taking them out of that path and creating
Well,
their own branches. And because like when you remove someone,
you
I don't,
immediately think the worst.
yeah,
But
so it's
what if their Nexus event isn't so much so bad,
yeah,
but
maybe
it's to
it's supposed
create something
to happen.
really good?
Exactly. And then maybe the TVA is preventing that and
Yeah,
causing these world disturbances or, universal disturbances. So maybe the
yeah.
TVA isn't really.
Well, people are start. A lot of fans are starting to think it's King the Conqueror as one of them. That would make sense. He just he does a lot of stuff in like the multiverse and then the quantum realm and stuff like that. He's rumored to be in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Um, so it's really cool. We do see an animatronic version of the timekeepers, which one of them reminded me of like a superhero from I think it was Mega Man, but episode was cool. Mobius, he gets what's it called? Pruned. He gets pruned.
Pruned. And
And
I
it
got,
is so sad, that moment. Like that moment is so sad.
he's all like, maybe I like jet skis.
Yeah.
And oh my god! And I think you're the one who, when I mentioned, when I found out about, well, when we watched episode 3, and then and we find out that maybe all the TVA agents are variants, and then I remember talking to you about it, and you mentioned it's like, yeah, that's probably why he likes jet skis, and
Yeah.
it brought me back to that one scene in episode 2 where I was like, why is this, like, why are they talking about this? And it makes me even appreciate more because it's honestly on the details. It really
Yeah.
is on the details, on how, like, what every scene really is important, and every piece of dialogue hints at things in it, and I love that. I love continuity.
Yeah.
I love seeing that and referencing, why everything's so important. And I think really good job on the producing team. I
No, yeah, they're doing a fantastic job. Oh my gosh, Tom Hiddleston's reaction and acting in that moment where it looks like Loki's crying
oh my god,
because I feel like he feels like he lost his very first friend because I feel like Mobius was his friend from the beginning.
yeah, dude. And even when he was trying to lie about not having feelings for Sylvie,
Yeah,
because that whole interrogation scene, I was like, damn, man, like he actually really cares for her. Like
yeah. Well,
it,
him
it's for him,
himself.
himself, yeah. And it's just,
Well, so we think,
so I mean,
you
it might
know.
be more of like, I'm watching over you, because I'm thinking back, and like we are getting a 2012, we are experiencing a 2012 Loki,
Yeah,
and a 2012 Loki that obviously is fueled by her, and we get we put him. I mean, we're also kind of, we forgot to mention that Lady Sith scene where he,
yeah. That was cool to see her come back. I thought characters were gonna like start walking in.
so did I, but
I
then I,
thought like Thor was gonna be the last one where like it's just Thor like beating him
where
up.
he gets like probably put through like his
Yeah,
worst case scenarios, and
the people he's I don't want to say hurt the most, but it starts
damage.
from least to I guess most. So but yeah, and then they go fight the timekeepers, and that's when we find out they're animatronics. What's her name? The buff security guard.
Hunter B-15.
Hunter B-15, she comes in and has like this badass moment where she's ready to fight. She's kicking all kinds of ass. She takes out her guards like soup. Or did she get pruned?
I don't think she did. I don't
I have to
remember what
rewatch
happened
it.
to her. I think she just like
Yeah,
gets off camera, but I don't think she gets pruned. Um, what
Loki
happened?
does. Loki gets pruned at the end, right when he's about to confess his love to Sylvie, and
And I knew
then
it. I knew it because when Sylvie and Ramona were fighting, I was like, "You did not just knock her out. No, you're supposed to prune her." In my head, I was like, "Prune her, prune her." I was like,
yeah,
"Just stab her, make like immobilize her because you can't just knock her out. She's gonna
yeah.
like,
No,
it's
yeah, for sure.
double tap. It's Zombieland code. Double tap.
What is it?
Double tap.
When in doubt, always know your way out.
Exactly. And they didn't.
Yeah,
Didn't even check the back seat and prune, man.
yeah,
And I was scared. At that point, I was like, is this the Sylvie show? Is
yeah. That's yeah. I was like, no
Sylvie show
way,
now?
no
Like,
way.
no way. We're 4 episodes in, and our lead is dead.
Yeah,
That's what they did. Like they bamboozled us.
and then we get our first mid-credit scene,
Yeah.
which
Honest to God, I wouldn't have waited, even though I love to hear the score and I like the credit scenes.
yeah,
Honest to God, if you hadn't have mentioned it, I probably wouldn't have seen the credit scene.
really. See, I always look. I don't watch the actual credit. I'll watch like the first like 30 seconds, and then I'll just start skipping it to see if there's any credit scenes. But yeah, there was one. We get a big reveal. Loki wakes up. There's a bunch of other Lokis. It's a dead universe is where they're at because there's
Is that what
a
it is?
yeah
Did you
because there's
see?
an Avengers Tower.
I was gonna say, is
Yeah.
that the Avengers Tower in the back
Mm-hmm.
to the right of the the comic?
It was, huh? It was his comic book. I wasn't sure or if it was
Yeah, it
just
was
him in like
fun.
a like spandex. But yeah, I was like, it's him in his comic book accurate, which I thought was cool. There's
The
like a
reason why,
dog Loki.
yeah, the reason why I know
Uh,
that too is because of Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Game was
But
fun.
absolutely fantastic 2 episodes we've had. A lot of just movie news in general
Hmm.
lately. I again, why? Well, not to sidetrack. Well, not really sidetrack, but I don't see how this show doesn't lead into Doctor Strange.
Oh,
Like
I
there has to be some 100% connection to Doctor Strange, like
we're
without a doubt.
talking about timelines, and
Yeah,
we're talking about alternate realities, and getting pruned and actually dying. So meaning all these people
yeah,
that we see getting pruned are actually not dead, and they're actually being sent somewhere else. It's
hmm
like, what's what is it? Who the fuck are the timekeepers for real?
really.
And I think they're just doing such a good job. They really they know how to follow the climax pike, like or like peak, and the reveal and the all that stuff. It's, oh my god, it's fun. I know we're rambling and praising it, but if you guys really haven't checked out this show, which I'm pretty sure you should have at this point, we've been talking about it for now a couple weeks. Um,
Yeah.
and this is also, I remember seeing a tweet that's like, if even if you like, you don't have to watch the movies, you don't have to like start at the very beginning. If you're a new fan of Marvel, like, completely 100% welcome to the family. This is phase 4. This is a new and honestly very open, like, beginning journey. Like, it's a new journey from the start, and it's bringing in all types of new fans,
No,
and
yeah, definitely.
welcome to the family. Because just even watching it alone, like, if you've never been a Marvel fan and you just decide to turn on WandaVision or Loki, and it really takes you on a drive on its own.
100%. I feel like Disney Plus in general, while Disney is creating their Disney shows to be able to exist kind of without these character, without uh,
Movies,
these past storylines. Because like if you look at Mandalorian, like you can watch it, not know nothing about Star Wars and understand it.
right? And then
You know?
briefly, and if you don't still understand it, like when the whole Ahsoka Tano thing came in season 2, they still cover you. They like gave you like a little brief explanation,
Yeah.
like who she is, why she's important, and why wasn't she around.
Also with Luke showing up, like it's like you don't have to know who Luke Skywalker is to be able to not know, and it's like same with this thing. Like, it's like Loki's been around so long that if you've seen the first Thor, who Loki is, and it's just like these shows are able to stand alone while still having overall effects into the main storylines.
Totally, and it's evident, and it's so fun, and I'm really impressed. I just love this. I love this. I'm a big fan of mystery, and it's what it's been so far. And it's been a great show so far. So,
Definitely,
any
definitely having
final
fun with it.
thoughts? Any final thoughts or comments on Loki?
I need I need into the Mobiverse,
Into the movies.
the Mobius verse.
I want to see his life before. Oh, did you
Oh
see
yeah,
that meme? I'm
with
so
the
sorry. With
do
like
it.
all his
Oh my
characters,
gosh,
all his
yeah,
like iconic characters, and it's like, hey, sit on this kachow. It's like saying kachow, but it's
yeah,
couch or something like that.
yeah. Yeah, and then there's obviously him as Lightning McQueen, his Wedding
Cowboy.
Crashers character, also his the cowboy from what you call it, right? Night at the Museum. Yeah, I saw that was in the meme. It was so it was people on the internet just that are creative and have way too much in their time on their hands, myself included. Um, but oh my gosh, like this episode is fantastic. I think the memes make these episodes even better.
Oh yeah,
Just like what everybody's thinking and how big like tweets get and for shows now, it's just it's great. It's great. There's mittens.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, no, you're good.
I'm sorry. My Mittens is my cat. Um, I call her Mamas for short, and she is in attention. She is craving attention just like Loki. She doesn't like me doing anything else except touching her, and then she just loves to bite me. So that's what we're seeing. When we start watching and when we start filming for the YouTube channel, you'll see a little bit more of her, and you'll see how annoying she can get.
Yeah,
And
we're off to a slow start on the YouTube channel, but we're gonna get
we'll
more
get
content
there.
on there.
We'll get there.
Some more
Yeah.
content
I
on there
mean, we'll
in the
definitely
coming weeks.
we can start off with Fast 9.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's gonna. I didn't expect the Spider-Man trailer to take so long. I thought we'd have it already. Who knows? It may
Yeah,
drop later today,
that's the reason
and
why I even
maybe.
started in Fast 9. Like I know it's not related, but I was maybe hopefully with this
Yeah.
Black Widow. Oh, which is countdown to Black Widow now. We're in July.
Oh,
Happy.
next week, next a week
Yeah.
from today, we'll be seeing Black Widow. So that's
So I think I might get.
fantastic. Yeah, you
Uh,
should
I'll probably see it that morning and just wake up early and go see it.
on that Friday morning.
Yeah, because I get off work. I won't be able to see it that Thursday night.
Yeah.
I work Thursday night. So.
No, yeah, yeah, I get you. I get you. Yeah, but all right, man. This was
Oh,
fun of
this
an
is a lot of
episode. A
fun.
lot of movies, a lot of movie news, a lot of just things to talk about that even we didn't get to cover, you know.
Yeah, but
But
we have yeah, and then I was gonna bring up, but I forgot that you mentioned that the question is gonna be after the show.
oh yeah, yeah, I'll talk to you as we're done recording right now, so that you can think of that experience.
All
But
right, thank you.
I okay, so guys, just again, so for today's question, it was what's your favorite format to watch movies in when you visit your local movie theater? We're going to put the link up, we'll put a questionnaire up on our Instagram, and where you guys can answer and respond, and we'll get some answers in on the next episode.
Totally.
But yeah, again, this is fun. Thanks for taking the time to chat, Miguel.
Absolutely. Thank
Appreciate it. This was fun. As always, I was Adam,
you. And Miguel.
and this was our Real Addiction.
Yeah, man. Take care,
Sic,
everyone.
yeah, Sic Parvis Magna.
Sig Parvis Magna.